I never thought I'd be injecting myself for weight loss. But here I am, and for the next 30 days I'll be taking Tirzepatide, the popular injectable medication used for type 2 diabetes and weight loss. Just for a month or maybe 2, but not as a forever fix, but rather as a reset. My goal? To shut down my food noise so that I can relearn and add new habits. Better sleep, more protein, daily movement, and a forever nutritional foundation. Naive and overconfident, most probably. But my health and age is at a scary stage, and I'm using Tirzepatide as the catalyst to a healthier me. This will not be medical advice at all, but rather honest and vulnerable sharing of the reasons, the emotions around food, the wins, the battles, and whether a month or 2 was worth it. I'm the Forest Fairy. Welcome to my corner of the woods, where I'm rebuilding, revamping, redesigning a magical life, and hopefully inspire you to gather your own fairy dust. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fabulous week. I can clearly hear you saying, what? Because if you know me well, you will know I don't take meds unnecessarily. And if I do, it's after much research and consideration. But the operative word here is unnecessarily. And I had to clarify for myself whether taking Tirzepatide, or T-Tide as I call it, is necessary or not. And I had to get over the shame and fear of being judged by myself and others, but more on that later. The honest response after many months and lots of research was yes, I do need it. And I'll be making it part of my overall health reset and journey, to which I'll be dedicating the next couple of months. Right now, I am what the World Health Organization classifies as obese, class 1 with a BMI of 32, when it should actually be between 25 and 27. My waist measurement is also way above the healthy range. Respected research shows that a waist circumference of more than 88 centimeters or 35 inches is strongly linked to a higher risk of a heart attack. And just to add to this wake-up call are my genetics. My father had a heart attack at 59, and even after a triple bypass, he passed away 6 months later. I'm now older than he was, and while I don't smoke, I'm not in great shape. Over the past 20 years, the weight crept up slowly. Menopause, stress, personal losses, emotional eating. I've tried to lose it again and again without lasting success. So this is me being vulnerable, sharing my story, opinions, and experiences. Maybe you'll be able to relate and hopefully be inspired. I kept questioning myself. Couldn't I just do it naturally with discipline instead of injecting medication? And how could I stop the emotional eating? I'll chat about this in a later conversation. Then I heard a nutritional coach and a spiritual coach that I follow both say that it should be seen as allowing yourself the opportunity to reset your relationships with food and your body. A pause button, if you will. Well, this was my light bulb moment, reframing it as a reset, a tool. But then there's the embarrassment and shame. Because I realize people don't readily admit to using these meds. They deflect by saying, I'm exercising more or on an eating plan, which are all probably true as additions to their progress. I'll be honest, I do feel like a failure for not doing it naturally, and yes, I worry about being judged. Please be kind and considerate to me and others who have decided to tackle their health and weight this way. And on that note, how is this medication seen in your community? Are people open about using it? Let me know in the comments below. So the questions that you may have are, isn't it meant for long-term use? Why are you only planning to use T-Tide for a month or 2? And the answers are quite simple. Yes, it does seem as if it's for long-term use. However, it is relatively expensive, and my financial priorities only allow a short period. The intention from the outset is that it will allow me respite from the food chatter. Whether that will work or not, we shall see. The idea is that it will interrupt my emotional eating and constant cravings and allow me the mental space to pull out my old trusty habits and acquire some new ones. Years ago, I split my health into 5 areas: lean, fit, strong, flexible, and healthy, with each area housing a variety of habits, techniques, and programs. Keep a lookout for future conversations where I'll go deep into each area. Because Part of my health reset plan is to gradually, in each area, revive and rejuvenate appropriate practices, and also identify and commit to new ones. And I'll continue to remind myself this health set is not a sprint, not a once-off event, but rather a relaying of a foundation. So I'm taking it brick by brick, practice by practice. So it's clear that for me, this can't just be about measurements and stats, but also about my habits and behaviors and the emotions feeding into them, no pun intended. Where habits are concerned, according to Dr. Philippa Lally, the average time to make behavior automatic is 66 days. But the caveat is that simple habits, such as drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning, may only take 18 days, while complex ones, such as major diet changes, could take up to 8 months. But she does explain that it's more about consistency than exact number of days, and skipping once in a while doesn't erase the progress. And this falls right into my plans, she says optimistically and full of confidence, as I've set aside the next 4 months to reset my health. If you're curious whether a month or two of Tea Tide can really help reset your health, hit the subscribe button and follow along. I'll be sharing the journey and a variety of topics linked to this reset every Saturday. In fact, next week's conversation is about what Tea Tide actually does, the side effects, the truth about Ozempic faith, and of course, how I'm faring. Last week, I invited you to join me on this reset. Maybe you have something you've been putting off, health-related or otherwise. I'd love the company. And so there you have it. I'm trying Tea Tide for a month or two as part of my health reset, which I recently kicked off with a topical chemotherapy treatment on my face. You can follow that part of my journey through my Wednesday updates. But make sure you've watched the kickoff conversation. I've linked it somewhere here. Wishing you a week filled with healthy habits and, of course, sprinklings of fairy dust. Until next time, goodbye.